Don't want. Have to update them that the class is rolling here. Start the second screen. And there we go. All right, the recording's going. We are going. We are rolling. And here we go. We're going to start off with a bit of a screen share here. And we are going to move this one out of the way. And we are going to move this one out of the way as well. Move this one over here. And the one I want is over here. Nope, not that one. Lots of screens this morning. Here we go. This is us. This is the one we want. And we are here. We are in week 3. And we are down here. We're all the way down on Wednesday, and we're going to talk about the debrief here. Has anybody had their mock interview yet, or you have it scheduled today by chance? Once you do that, please make sure you come in here, start this assignment. Your interview questions, which ones were you asked? What did you learn? What would you change? Okay, do this after your interview, not before. Obviously, you won't have the answers to those questions. I'm keeping an eye on that. I'm going to go through, see when people's appointments are, make sure that they are sticking with those. You don't do the mock interview, obviously, you can't do this assignment, and there is another one after that as well. That actually encompasses 3 different assignments if you don't participate. So the LinkedIn profile, you will go to linkedin.com. And so we'll just type that in there. LinkedIn.com is the easiest way to get there. And right here, you will be clicking on join now. You'll put in your email address, you'll create, and you'll agree to join. If you don't want to use your own information, you can put in fake information. If you already have a LinkedIn account, you're welcome to use that as well. Make sure you are updating the about section, the education section, the experience, and the skills. The about section, this part here, this is where you will put that elevator pitch. This is that short blurb that we asked you to write. You write it once, you use it everywhere. You can also put your brand statement in here. Remember, that is one statement that describes you. It's recommended you do put a picture on your profile. This allows you to get more hits, more action from clients and businesses that are looking for you. Your education needs to be updated to include Southern Tech. I will be going in these and checking these. This is how you get your grade. Your experience, this should include any work experience you have. Your skills should be updated with skills you've learned here at Southern Tech, along with any transferable skills, things you've learned at other businesses. Each section is 20 points. Just because you have the section doesn't mean you're going to get full 20 points. It depends on how fully you fill these out. So again, that will give you up to 20 points in each section for a total of up to 80 points. And you have 20 points for creating the account. This 20 points is actually for creating the account. If you have the account, you will have it. Okay. Copy and paste the web address for the profile. Make sure you have the entire web address. So once you are in here, and I will actually log in here real quick. Go back here. If I signed in here, This is one of the ones that I have. If I sign in and I am saying that you need to have the entire email address, that is what is up here. And so you go up to the top, you copy this entire thing. Okay, so now what that actually looks like is if I put that in here and I pasted that in, this entire thing should pop up, okay? Another place you can get that entire thing is, discard this, is if you come over here and you look at your information. And so you have your view profile information. You can come in here under your contact information right here. Look under your contact information. Copy this link. So if I open this up and I paste this in here, hit return, that is going to take me to my page. So again, underneath you, go under view profile, and your contact information is under here. Okay, so make sure that you get that information in there, right there, contact information, and that's what you will put in this assignment so that I can find you. All right, that way I can check that out, get your grade for you. So that's where that comes into play, so that we can get that graded for you. And that is actually a tool that will work for you. Okay, that LinkedIn profile is active and will work for you. Tomorrow, you're going to finish up that career plan step 2. That's where you're going to add those short-term goals in to that long-term goal. Some people have already done it. We're going to talk about writing those thank you letter. Headshots, this is optional. The headshot is shoulders to top of the head from up here. Doesn't have to be expensive, but it needs professional looking. Make sure you look good when you send this. That is the picture that could go on to that LinkedIn profile. Okay. Great place to put that. All right. So that's what we're looking for there. Okay. So now let's go ahead and get started with our presentation. And so because we talk about this, before we get into that, some things, if you're going into that interview, things to prepare yourself. When you go in, make sure you are greeting that interviewer. Make sure you know who you're talking to. Greet them by name. Reach out, go to shake hands. Make sure you are keeping eye contact. You don't have to smile like a Cheshire cat, but have a pleasant look like you are excited to be there. When offered a seat, please be seated with your feet firmly on the ground. Arms on the armrests are neatly in your lap. Do not wiggle. Offer your resume at that point. That is when you offer your resume to the person doing the interview. When asked questions, stick to the questions. Don't ramble on or go on to other things. One of the things we need to learn to talk about in specific. Don't say I'm a good employee. Say I make a great employee because of these things. Specify why you're good. Don't just talk in general things. I work machines. What machines do you do? I know how to do labs. What kind of labs? Specify what you are good at, what your strengths are. If they ask, what are your weaknesses? Don't say I'm strong in everything. Everybody has weaknesses, and weaknesses are not things that will cause you to not get a job. Recognize them and say, I'm not the strongest in this area, but with your assistance, I will grow in that space and I will continue to flourish in my other ones. Things like this, you're letting them know, I recognize I have a weakness here, but I'm going to grow. So these are things that are going to help you out. When given an opportunity to ask questions, remember, ask questions of the person interviewing you. Always ask. When it comes time to leave, thank the person by name. Remember that person's name, thank them by name, and don't forget to say, what will be the next step? Don't ask him, I'm coming back. How did I do? What will be the next step? You will be checked on that. Make sure you ask what will be the next step in the process. All right. So here we go. We're going to get started here, but I wanted to give you those hints that are going to make that a little bit better for you. All right. And away we go. Let me push my keyboard off to the side. Give my iPad time here to catch up. Okay, I got my smiley face here. We're going to talk about networking because we mentioned it. The importance of professional networking. This is what we're talking about, professional networking and etiquette on networking and how you do this. We're going to touch on that briefly, okay? So it's talking with people and establishing relationships that lead to potential career or job opportunities. We've mentioned this before, okay? Now, a professional network are people who support an individual in the career and other business endeavors. So it's not just your career, but you may want to do investments, you may want to just grow, etc. But their network, they support you, they guide you, they help you. Okay, so these can be friends and family, but they know your career. They're not just friends and family. These are ones that know your career. Now, informational interviewing is a network strategy. This is why we have you doing 2 of them. And it's to ask for advice and direction from a professional. And it's not just asking for a job opportunity. This is how you learn from experienced people. Now, do not become a self-centered networker that only pulls information from people. If you're only getting information from people and you don't share, you're going to be rejected. Okay? Share your knowledge just as much as you get it. And right here, okay, it begins at pre-career stage and it's permanent. Okay, this is a permanent skill you need to grow. So if you're not taking these interviews serious, you're damaging your career over time. And your network's going to change over time. People you're networking with now, they're not going to be there in the future. And you're going to get new ones. Now, you can be face-to-face. This is anywhere you meet. When I'm at the theme parks, I meet people in careers and I learn from them and I share things when we're standing in line. It happens. It's face to face. You go to trade shows. You go to places where people work. One individual mentioned when their pet is at the vet, they talk to the people and they ask them questions. That's face to face networking. You're talking to people in the business right then and there. So you initiate a conversation about career topics. That's incredible. Great idea. Now, before you network, consider creating business cards, contact cards, we call them now. And it can either be on your phone where you tap or you email or you text, or they can be physical. And think about what questions you might want to ask when you meet someone. Now, this is a person's card. So it's got the name, the position that they want. It's got their phone number. It's got their email address. It's got their LinkedIn account. Anything else on it? Look right here. What's this? This is a brand statement right there. Boom, tells them everything about them right there. Now on the back side, you've got room. You can either list your skills or you can put that personal commercial, that elevator pitch. It's two-sided. You can use these things, hand them out. The thing is, the more you get in front of somebody, the more likely you are that they're going to remember you. Okay? And that's the name of the game. Put your name in their mouth. Now, always have manners. Speak properly. Don't overshout people. Proper language. Watch how you're speaking no matter where you are. And it's acceptable to let people know, hey, I'm looking for a job. Do you have something for me? That's perfectly acceptable. Okay. Okay, let's go. Now, if you're going to a place where you know you're going to be meeting people, dress appropriate. Do not arrive late. Okay, but don't get there super early unless it's something that's going to be an event that's hard to get into. Make sure your phone is silent. Okay, you don't want to be talking to people and your phone's blowing up. Maintain eye contact, avoid slang or unprofessional language. Offer and ask if they have a business card. Get that information so you can email them later, because you're going to send a follow-up email thanking the person for their time. Part of the reason is you do want to thank them. The other thing is because you want them to remember you. Now, there's online networking too. You connect online, and there are benefits of it, okay? And you can reach people around the world because they will know other people, okay? And it's a way to meet people with similar interests, but there's differences here, okay? You got to be positive at all times. Professional communication all time. Do not do this. Do not write negative posts. Do not have a flame war. Do not flood someone's email account. If they're not responding, get the hint. Don't keep going after them. And do not just randomly invite strangers. Find out who they are, get to know them before you ask them to join a network of people that you know. Now, LinkedIn, we mentioned to this. In that LinkedIn account, you need that headline, you need that about, you need the experience, education, and skills. Each one of these is important. This is going to be part of the final, okay? That headline, your name, your job title, where you're located, not your actual street address, but where you're at, the industry you're going to work. You may want that headshot of you on that because that gets you more contacts. Don't forget to smile. Smiles get you even more contacts. They want you to appear friendly, okay? Have a little bit of the work history, things like that in your experience, just like your resume, volunteer work, all that stuff goes under experience. Education, okay? Just like in your resume, include everything in current. Skills, list your most important skills at the top and go down, the ones they want to see the most, okay? All these things include in here. Don't forget that volunteer work. That volunteer work is important. It shows you put others in front of you. Now, we went over Twitter. I'm not going to go into that detail because we discussed that yesterday. Same thing with Instagram. We discussed that yesterday. Now, okay, I want you to think about this, okay? Everybody has a reputation and companies do too. And we've seen this in the news a lot. How does the reputation of a company influence your decision on where you'd like to be employed? And do their ethics determine where you do or do not want to be employed? Remember, you represent the company you work for, but at the same time, they represent you as well. You tell me, how does that influence where you're applying and where you want to work? And that's where we are today. Now, today is Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday, the end of week 3. And that's significant because on Friday, I will be opening week 4's assignments. That includes access to that final exam. So you can start to work on week 4's assignments early. And this is critical because week 4 ends on Thursday at 10 p.m. So it does end on a Thursday. You won't have that other weekend to catch anything up if you're missing anything, which is typically not the situation here. But it also ends at 10 o'clock, so a little bit early in case you needed extra time. So that is it for Wednesday. The student survey is open. Um, Let me share that real quick here. I didn't show that. That is over here. If we go to the home page, you will see that right here. I'll be sending the link out as well. You can either click here or here. Click on the student survey. It will take you here, and you can answer these all the way down. Okay. So that's important because it lets us know what we might be doing right, what we might be doing wrong, and it does shape the courses here at Southern Tech, and it is anonymous. I don't know who fills what out or how it turns out. Okay, so that is it for today, and we will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m.